Okay, so make sure you have completed the warm-up and how do I get there. Remember, how do I get there goes in back of your warm-up. Make sure that you are working on it and are actually solving it. So after your CDB, hopefully you finished it and turned it in and entered it in CMS. Make sure that you are working on this assignment. These are notes that you're going to be copying, and then you have a practice. The practice is due tomorrow, December 17th. So make sure you do it and take it home. So here is the coordinate plane. What we're going to do, we're going to take some notes on this. You should have the half sheet with you. Make sure that you have everything you need, and then go ahead and get started and copy the notes. So we're going to go ahead and start with the y-axis. So on the very top, it says the coordinate plane. Under it, it says the blank is the vertical number line. So what you're going to say, it's going to be the y-axis. Okay. Then we're going to go ahead and look at the x-axis. So if you look at the x-axis, this is the x-axis right here. Y-axis, x-axis. So this is going to be the x-axis is the horizontal number line. So we're going to write x-axis. Okay, now we're going to go in the middle of the coordinate plane. So this right here, right in the middle where the two number lines meet, that's going to be called the origin. And the origin has ordered pairs of 0, 0. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and look at the quadrants. So if you notice, the coordinate plane is divided into 4 parts. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, and there's 4. So when you have those 4 parts, they have each a number. So the quadrant go from 1 to 4, and they are usually written in Roman numerals. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. So quadrant 1 is like a letter I. Quadrant 2 is like a letter I, but with 2 lines in the middle. Quadrant 3, again, like an I with 3 lines in the middle. And then quadrant 4 is an I and a V. So those are called quadrants, and the numbers I just wrote are Roman numerals. So when you're looking at the coordinate plane and you want to remember how the quadrants are numbered, basically all you have to do is make sure and you think about the letter C for coordinate, and you start from the top right corner, go around to the bottom right corner. So it creates a C, and that will help you how to number the quadrants. So that way you know what they are. So on quadrant 1, well, let's start with the fill in the blank over here. So it says this is the blank. So what they call this is an ordered pair. Sorry, the stylus is not really good. So pair. So ordered pairs, you always write the x first, then the y. So the first number is called the x coordinate. And the second number is called the y coordinate. So x and y coordinates. So whenever you're going to read an ordered pair, you're going to always look for x and then y. So when we look at the point here, this point, we're going to call it point A. I'm going to use another color so you could see it better. So this would be point A. And point A is going to have the ordered pairs. So what we need to do is make sure we're numbering them. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if you notice, this is 9 going to the right. So it's going to be positive. And then we have how many going down. So these are 9 going to the right. Oops. One line. 9 going to the right, then down. So we're going to go ahead and count how many go down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So our coordinates are 9, 9. Or our ordered pair is 9, 9. So make sure that you always do X first. And I'm sorry, I drew the line in the wrong place. So you always do X first, and then you do Y. So you always walk across before you jump up or down. Or you walk across to grab the elevator so you could go up or down the elevator. So make sure you remember those things that we're saying. Now I'm going to go ahead and write in what the ordered pair should look like whenever they're in certain quadrants. So in quadrant 1, you should have positive X and positive Y. For quadrant 2, you should have negative X and positive Y, because everything on the left is negative of their x-axis, and anything on the right is positive. So let's look at quadrant 3. Quadrant 3, your x is negative and your y is also negative, because when you're looking at the y-axis, everything above the origin is positive, anything below the origin is negative. And then for quadrant 4, your ordered pairs X is positive and Y is negative. So if you could remember that, then you shouldn't have any trouble identifying where the point is, what quadrant the point is in. So go make sure you copy all your notes and then go on to the next. Then turn off the video, stop the video, and copy all the notes, so that way you have everything done, and then go ahead and restart the video. So now on this part of your notes, it says a set of ordered pairs such as 1, 7, 2, 3, 3, 0, and 4, 5 is called a relationship. Or a relationship. So X and Y will have a relationship. Right now we're just learning how to plot the graphs, but later on we're going to see it whenever we're plotting numbers in order to represent an equation. It could be representing a proportion, a ratio, something that in that manner. So then we're going to go ahead and talk about X. So the domain of the relationship is all the X coordinates. So make sure you understand that. And the range is all the Y coordinates. So later on, we're going to be asking for domain and range, so make sure you understand that. So the domain of this relationship is, so we're going to go back to them. So we're going to go back to the numbers on top. So the domains are all the x-axis. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. So those are your domains. The range are going to be your y-axis. So that's going to be 7, 3, 0, and 5. So make sure that you know the difference between the two. Now let's go ahead and do the bottom part of this area, and make sure that you are writing down the domain, what is the domain, what is the range, and then come back to the video. So stop it and then come back. So I hope you completed this part of this area. That's practice for you, so make sure you do that. The domain should be -1, 3, 2, and 0, and the range is 8, -4, 7, and 12. So make sure you did this correctly. If you didn't, go ahead and correct it. Stop the video to correct it, and then come back to the video. Okay, so just before we start putting in points or plotting points, I want you to make sure that you understand how to plot points. Remember, you always look for the X and then look for the Y. So the X will always be walking, so walk before you jump. And that's what we usually say. To graph a point, not a coin. To graph a point, remember, you must walk before you jump. So walk before you jump. Some people say walk to the elevator before you go up and down. Same thing. So remember, X is going either way, and Y is going to be up and down. So take these notes and then go ahead and go to the next part of this video. So here we have a practice on your own. I want you to go ahead and practice on your own and then come back to the video to check if your answers are correct. So always remember to go across before going up and down. Label your points, because when you don't label them, I don't know which one's which. So like for 3, 2, you would label it as A, point A. For -1 and 4 point B, and so on and so on. So go ahead and stop the video and then come back to it so you could check your answers. Okay, so this is your video now. I mean your video. This is your answer key. Make sure you did it correctly. When you're done with this, make sure you are taping this or gluing it into your composition book. That way you can refer to it when you have your test on Thursday, because you will be having a test on Thursday on this. So make sure you're doing this, and go ahead and go get the practice from me in the front of the class, and I'll give it to you. This is your practice. Whatever you don't finish in class, you take it home to practice. If you're not able to finish this in class, it is due tomorrow. I will be picking it up, and we will be able to grade it in class. So make sure you're doing it, because if not, it counts as a missing grade. So here is your practice. Make sure you are following directions. Make sure you are circling and drawing and looking for everything that needs to be done. So go ahead and practice on this. Whenever you're done, make sure that you either turn it into the tray or finish it for homework. So good luck for that. If you have any questions, remember you could always come and ask me. But finish your CDB first.